Hey, how's everybody? Saturday morning, almost Saturday afternoon. It probably is where you are because we don't use daylight savings time down here, so we're on standard time. So it's 11:37 in Colombia, and it's probably in the East Coast 12:37. So you guys are having lunch. Sorry about that. We'll try to keep it as gross free as we possibly can while you're eating. So I was talking yesterday about women's rights and whatnot, and I was watching an old uh, rally of women. I'm not sure exactly what the issue was at the time, but it wasn't that old. And guys were yelling at her, "Go home and cook, get my dinner ready," and things like that. And I'm like, you know, do you know how hard it is? Now this may sound strange to bring up when you were talking about women's rights, but do you know how hard it is for a woman to succeed in the restaurant industry as a chef? I mean, to get the opportunity to be a top chef, to get the training and whatnot, because they go to a lot of to be trained in other countries, and they really are not the feminist countries they think they are. Uh, so my question is, would you let these women cook you dinner? Why can't these women get jobs in restaurants, and all you want them to do is cook you dinner? That sounds like personal slavery to me, and you're not giving the woman the opportunity to excel at anything. And that's just so stupid. Because, like my mom told me, and all right, this is a feminist. Wasn't a real feminist. My mom was in her 80s when she passed away, and that's a good 10 years ago. And she said to me, Jeff, we need to get along with everybody. That means black and white. And she explained segregation. She explains racism to me and bigots. How my father was more of a bigot than anything else, an uneducated bigot, and how the uneducated seem to be more bigoted than the educated people. So, and going along with this, why can't we all get together? Why don't? What's the difference if a woman works for a living? What's the difference if a woman is a CEO? What's the difference if the woman is a president? They're human beings first. Then they're males and females, or females and males, depending on how you want to say it. I don't want to get in trouble for putting them in the wrong order there or anything like that. Uh, it just seems stupid to me. Why you don't want women to do this or do that? You know, yeah, besides being grossly unfair to the females of the world. Why is it that we can't have a woman be a chef or executive in a major company? Now there are a lot of progressive major companies out there. Don't get me wrong. My niece is a vice president in IBM. So of course they have 100 vice presidents, but that's okay. She's one of them. Okay, there's thousands of people that work there, and she's one of the vice presidents. She's head of digital marketing. I said that worldwide, not just here, worldwide. She is a brilliant young lady. Um, Now you're dealing with the. There's a lot of brilliant young women out there. They're having difficulties. Apparently, they're having difficulties in school when they get out of school finding jobs that suit their education. Now, first of all, I had a friend of mine way back when, 50 years ago. 50 years ago? Over 50 years ago. Graduated college, got a master's degree in English literature, and said to me, was offered a job working at the time, which was a fairly good salary, according to what my mother told me and some other people told me. It's a starting salary. It was $9,000 a year. Now you're talking, God, you're talking over 60 years ago. You're talking 60 years ago. You know, and he refused to do this. because he said it wasn't enough money, that he deserved to make a lot more money because he had all this education. But he's never proven himself to be able to use that education. Um, he had a lot of issues with that. He ended up okay. He went into his own business, sold a lot of dope. He did a lot of different things, and he made out all right financially. Retired at the age of 40, a millionaire as a millionaire. So, you know, can't go wrong with that. Uh, but you know, no matter if you're male or female, if you come out of school with a bad attitude, you're not going to get a job. Do I think that there are people that look at men? Well, there are people that look at Princeton grads before they look at anybody else. That the people that hire, they look at their own colleges first before they look for anything else. Other people. But to not hire somebody because they're a woman, if there is a man and a woman of equal value applying for a job, equal education, they pass the interviews pretty well, and everything is equal, and the only reason that she doesn't get the female doesn't get the job is the guy prefers a man in the job. Well, even the Army's letting women, get promoted and get in and everything, So you're gonna need to have that happen. It's just you can't block out people like that. It's like you can't block out a black person. You can't block out an Arab person. If I was gonna block anybody, if I was gonna have a preference for people, and I lived and I had a business and I was gonna hire people, all right, I would want military veterans, women, and indigenous people. That's if I'm in the United States. Down here it's a little different. I don't think I'd want a veteran working for me down here. I don't know. They're not the same. They're not the same discipline. They're not the same anything. But that's just what I've seen. That doesn't mean there aren't 1,000 guys out there to do the job. But I would take, the government does that. You get, if you're a veteran, you can take the postal exam to be a mailman, and you pass the exam. You pass simply by signing your name that you're a veteran. But then if you score some actual points yourself, then you're pretty much sure of getting a job. Right? But I think that's why they had problems with the so-called postal workers at one point in time. But you get the drift, all right? And when I say veterans, I mean handicapped or unhandicapped. If they're qualified for the job, you hire them, Most jobs are somewhat physical, but not they can't do the if they can use their hands, they can pretty much do the job. I mean, you can't. It would be difficult to be a chef in a wheelchair, okay? Not impossible. It would just be difficult. I don't know whether there's schools in France that would train them. If you want to be a fine dining chef and whatnot. But that's the other side of the story. I hire them. Then I'd hire women if they're qualified, and then indigenous people, American Indians, if they're qualified. Okay, now depending on the job, depends on the qualifications. All right? You look at somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know what school she went to or any of that. She did graduate college, I'm not sure. But I think she might have, cheated a little bit or something, because she just doesn't come across as very smart. But there's an example of a woman in a position that has the opportunity to promote other women and whatnot, and she doesn't. She destroys them. She's an ass kicker for men, and if you kiss an ass, you do some other things too. So I don't want to get involved in the personal aspects of that, but I think that she's ruining it for a lot of women by being the way she is, unstable. You know, um, most of the women that I know are horribly stable at times. You know, they don't. Most of the business women I've met don't know how to really relax real well. You know, they're not like, they don't go out and they don't hang out with the guys. They hang out with their girlfriends, and their girlfriends might not have the same level job that they do. All right, but that's the way life is. All right. I firmly believe that if we continue with the Trump organization and the Republican Party, and we become more of a racist, uh, machismo-based country, we will be gone in 10 years. There will be no United States of America. There will be no more democracy. Okay? All right, listen, it's Saturday. I probably pissed everybody off with my conversation, but I'm glad to do it. You know, if you don't like what I'm saying, you know where you can reach me. We might be going live soon. I don't know. I have to figure this out because, like I said, I can't do podcasts and stuff like that because, number one, well, I'm not so sure I can get the equipment going from down here. And then advertisers and stuff like that, they're not, I don't do Spanish broadcasts because I don't have a good hold on the language, and I don't want to screw it up, But I can do live videos, and you still be able to watch them whether you get them live or not. I think. I don't know. I have to go take a look at this, and look at the prospects of this, because nobody seems to be watching these videos, and I'm not wasting my time. I'm just trying to figure out a way to get some interaction with the people that are out there, so that I know whether I'm heading in the right direction, or are people hating me, which is fine too. Jerry Springer made a fortune out of having people think he was an idiot and hated him. I don't want to be people thinking I'm an idiot. A dirty old man, okay, but an idiot, no. All right, that's it for Saturday. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.